The IRS is now pumping out stimulus checks to millions of Americans as part of that $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan. Ilan Moy joins us right now. She's got more on where things stand. Hi, Ilan.
Well, good morning, Becky. The stimulus payments started showing up in bank accounts over the weekend, and they'll continue to roll out over the next few days. In a letter to staff obtained by CNBC, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen forecast that the money, along with the rest of that $1.9 trillion COVID relief package, would end up juicing the job market. It said, "We are now charting a very different course out of this crisis compared to the one a decade ago. Rather than a long, slow recovery, I expect we could reach full employment by as soon as next year." Now, the first stimulus payments will go to those who have direct deposits set up with the IRS. Paper checks will start going out by the end of this month, and some households would also receive prepaid debit cards instead. Now, Treasury started testing that out in the first round of payments a year ago. There's been a lot of concern about some of the fees that unbanked households have to pay to access their money. An analysis by the Brookings Institution found that the costs range from about $8 to as much as $195 for a family of 5. But guys, the challenge with the prepaid cards is that some people thought it was a scam and they didn't activate it right away. So officials say that the real card is a Visa and that the envelope would prominently display the Treasury Department seal.
Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. Here is your news report, stimulus check update, and stimulus package update. I will be bringing you up to date on the latest stimulus news, including the status of the third stimulus check. I also want to cover how you can track your third stimulus payment. Make sure to watch until the end of this video because I will be covering 10 items that are hidden in President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus relief package. All right, everyone, so President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris are preparing to hit the road to garner more support for the $1.9 trillion economic relief package. Some Americans have already received their $1,400 stimulus checks in their bank accounts. Over the next couple of days, Biden and Harris will travel to many swing states as part of the Help Is Here tour. Democratic lawmakers will promote the most popular items in the America Rescue Plan, including stimulus payments and aid to parents. Leaders want to deflect criticism of the massive spending bill that Democrats recently pushed through Congress without GOP support. According to sources this Monday, First Lady will launch the tour by visiting a school in New Jersey's Burlington County. Later in the week, Jill Biden will travel to New Hampshire. Then President Joe Biden will begin his tour in Delaware County on Tuesday, before heading to Atlanta on Friday. The White House administration confirmed that the first batch of $1,400 stimulus checks were sent on Friday. Comment below if you have already received your third stimulus payment. Now the Treasury Department has confirmed that the first batch of checks will be going to Americans who provided direct deposit information in 2019 or 2020 tax filings. Then, the second batch of checks will be going to those who didn't supply electronic deposit information in recent tax filings, but have their details on file with the IRS, thanks to other government programs. All paper checks and electronic impact payment cards are expected to be sent out by the end of this month. Now the new American Rescue Plan does include several other provisions. These provisions include $19 million for university and affiliated schools to help them with expenses related to the pandemic. The university is based in Washington, D.C. and serves deaf students. $35 million for Howard University to also help it meet expenses related to the pandemic. $135 million for the National Endowment of the Arts to support community organizations affected by the pandemic. The National Endowment for the Humanities will receive $135 million, and the Institute of Museum and Library Services will receive $200 million. $1 billion for additional Head Start funding. $1 billion for additional Head Start funding. The IRS has reported that beginning on Monday, Americans can check the Get My Payment tool on the IRS website to track their own stimulus payments. Officials said in the interest of speeding up the relief payments, the IRS will use the latest tax return available, either the 2019 return filed last year or the 2020 return that is due by April 15th. Republicans in the Senate blasted $350 billion in state and local aid in President Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus bill, claiming out those funds are wasteful after a California rail project was cut from the bill. Republican lawmakers even held a press conference to hammer the state and local funds. Republican Senator Rick Scott said that the bill would contribute to inflation, causing unintended consequences for poor families when household items and groceries increase in price. Republican Senator Toomey also shared his thoughts on the passed relief bill during a press conference. Toomey stated, "The notion that our states and municipalities are in some kind of fiscal crisis couldn't be more wrong. It's just factually untrue. In fact, amazingly enough, the numbers are in now for 2020. State and local tax collections were actually $20 billion higher than 2019. And 2019 was an all-time record for revenue." That is all of the news for this video, folks. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell. Also, be sure to give this video a like.
Tour to communicate directly with Americans about how the rescue plan is helping them and their families. The tour will make clear that help is here and that we're on the path towards crushing the virus and rebuilding our economy. A number of these pieces you know, but just to add a few more details. So tomorrow, the president will travel to Delaware County, Pennsylvania, to highlight how the rescue plan invests in small businesses, a key component of the package, including minority-owned businesses, so they can rehire and retain workers while keeping them safe. The vice president and second gentleman will be in Denver, also meeting with small business owners. So that will be a big piece we're highlighting tomorrow. On Wednesday, the First Lady will travel to Concord, New Hampshire to underscore how the American Rescue Plan provides $130 billion to help schools reopen. The second gentleman will convene a listening session in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with working women, including teachers. And Education Secretary Cardona will do a remote local media tour to talk about school reopenings. And I think you can see what the theme is of that day. On Thursday, the administration will showcase how the American Rescue Plan provides emergency aid to cover back rent, help homeowners catch up on their payments, and provide funding for families recovering from homelessness. And then on Friday, President Biden and Vice President Harris will travel to Georgia, as you all already know, to underscore how they and congressional Democrats fulfilled their promise in delivering $1,400 checks to finish the job of $2,000 in direct relief to millions of Americans. The second piece of just the last piece, I should say, at the top is many of you saw the news out this morning that Gene Sperling will be joining the team here to run point on the implementation of the rescue plan. I've known him for a long time, worked with him previously, but to give you a few highlights, Gene has spent more than a decade at the highest level of government, including as senior Treasury official and as the only person to serve as NEC director twice. As we've talked about a bit in here, there are a number of economic officials who will be playing roles in implementation. So